My name is Yasas Ratnayake. I was born and raised a Buddhist in Sri Lanka. As I grew older, I became skeptical and disillusioned with Sri Lankan Buddhism for many reasons. That's why I ventured on my own journey of self-discovery by reading the original Buddhist texts and meditating in remote forest monasteries. What I learned through that experience gave me greater perspective for my life and molded me to who I am today.
Today is a significant day of celebration for Buddhists around the world. It's an occasion full of colorful festivities that dazzle and delight. And I would like to be your guide into this unique and inspiring annual event.
Every year, during the full moon of May, Buddhists around the world come together to celebrate Vesak, a festival commemorating the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing away of the Buddha.
Sri Lanka was one of the first countries to adopt Buddhism as its religion. The full moon of May has been a day of spiritual significance to Sri Lankans for more than 2,000 years. And only in Sri Lanka will you find hundreds of installations of different kinds displaying the story of the Buddha through art.
Most of these creations that you see on the side of the roads are created by hundreds of different artists coming in from different parts of the country.
These creations are based on two main themes: the life and teachings of the Buddha and inspiring stories from the past lives of the Buddha. While learning and practicing the Buddha's teachings, I noticed today that the values of Buddhism in Sri Lanka has shifted. I want to find out what Vesak means for the people and explore the sights and sounds of the celebration.
This street is where you find the largest installations in this zone. To my left is a really beautiful installation that's themed on the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing away of the Buddha. I believe what creators of these installations try to do is to bring out a message and remind people of the great accomplishments that the Buddha did in teaching all kinds of different people the Dharma and the way to find the truth from within your heart.
මේක මම තේමා කරගෙන තියෙනවා බුදුහාඳුරන්ගේ චරිත කීපයක්. ඒ කියන්නේ ජාතක කතා 6ක් සම්බන්ධ කරගෙන තියෙනවා මේ ඌරුවේ.
This installation is really cool because it explains and shows the entire process that the Bodhisattva Siddhartha Gautama went through before he became a Buddha.
Although he lived the regal life of a prince, Siddhartha became disillusioned with his existence when he saw the realities of birth, sickness, aging, and death. He sought a solution for this and abandoned his royal life to retreat into the wilderness in search of enlightenment, nirvana, the ending to all suffering.
Every year, artists try to better themselves by building bigger and more complex installations. This giant thing is called a pandal, and it basically is a large art installation that is full of some really trippy lights and some very beautiful drawings, and it depicts a previous life of the Lord Buddha.
Every pandal has multiple illustrated panels. It's kind of like a comic book, and the drawings are accompanied by a narration about the images, and it's usually sung out in verse.
So having seen Vesak celebration since I was a kid, what was really interesting for me is to see the evolution of the pandal.
Before the electronics came in, images used to be illuminated with oil lamps, and pandals used to be smaller and simpler. But every passing year in modern times, the pandals have become bigger and more complex. But they still use basic DIY analog technology to create these marvelous works of art.
Something I personally love about Vesak is the fact that there are thousands of people from all around Sri Lanka who come to celebrate and witness the art and the lights and everything.
From the military to civilians, clergy to laymen, old and young, thousands participate to add to the festival's vibrant and pulsating rhythm. And seeing their faces, it's very clear that they are overcome with feelings of joy and amazement. Giving and generosity is a core aspect of Buddhist teachings. People reflect these values by giving out free food in places called dansala.
One of the great traditions of Vesak is the dansala or giving stall, where there are stalls where people give out food for free. I can eat a lot of this. I love free food. What you're seeing back there is a traditional practice during Vesak where people get together and sing devotional songs about the Buddha and his teaching. Except this time, this is on a decorated boat. In the midst of all the color, the festive atmosphere and the lights of Vesak, one of the things that you will see recurring is the theme of suffering.
Suffering was the greatest element that affected happiness, and it was what the Bodhisattva Siddhartha Gautama was determined to solve. The Buddha taught that we suffer due to the fires of passion, aversion and delusion. We burn due to the pain of aging, sorrow and death. By understanding the nature of change and letting go of attachment by applying the mind to meditation, the Buddha taught that the bliss of nirvana could be achieved by any human being.
This is the story of Patachara, a woman who lost her husband, lost her children.
In a series of tragic events, her last child is carried away by an eagle and Patachara loses her mind, engulfed in agony. But the Buddha comes to her and helps her realize that every living creature inherits death. Not long after teaching her, Patachara achieves nirvana. Buddhists believe in the idea of rebirth, and according to this, you can be born as anything in this vast universe depending on your karma. This rather ominous installation shows a past life where the Bodhisattva or aspiring Buddha was a monkey king who saves his troop from a fearsome ogre. Scary looking installations are pretty effective in spooking out children and teaching them the importance of good values and conduct.
I'm standing in front of the representation of hell. Painful looking stuff going on, like this person just getting hammered down by a spiking mallet. A bunch of people taking a lava bath over there, and the hell's gatekeepers keeping the record.
ඒක අපි තමයි එකතු වෙලා කරේ ඩිසයින් කරා මම ඩිසයින් කරා මගේ තව කට්ටිය ඉන්න කට්ටියත් එක්ක එකතු වෙලා ඉතින් කට්ටියම එකට එකතු වෙලා කරුවා ඉතින් ගොඩක් හොඳයි කියලා කිව්වා ස්තුතිවන්ත කරා මොකද දැන් පොඩි ළමයෙකුට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් නේ දැන් පොඩි ළමයිට පොඩක් පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන් මෙන්න මේ පව් වැඩ කරොත් මෙන්න මේ වගේ දනුවම් තමා කියලා අර ඒ ළමයින්ට පොඩක් හිතර ඒක ඇතුල් වෙනවා දැම්ම කියලා.
I have to mention though that not all about Vesak in Sri Lanka is purely Buddhist. Over the centuries, folk beliefs, other religions and politics has influenced Sri Lankan Buddhism, creating cultural practices that have assimilated to turn it to what it is today. But besides all the ritual and cultural fanfare, I feel it's important that the real message of Vesak, I believe the real message of Vesak is the Buddha's message of universal compassion and spiritual purification through meditation. That's why I felt that our exploration of Vesak would be incomplete without speaking to a monk.
එතකොට ඒ වගේ වටිනා දර්ශන වටිනා දැන් බුද්ධ චරිත පිළිබඳ වැදගත් විදිහට ඒවා මේ කලා ශිල්පියෝ නිර්මාණය කරලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒවා දැකලා ගොඩාක් අය පැහැදෙනවා. ඒ වගේම බුද්ධ ධර්මයේ සඳහන් වෙනවා ආමිෂ කුසලයක් ප්‍රතිපත්ති කුසලයක් කියලා කුසල දෙපැත්ත. ආමිෂ කුසලයේ තමයි අපිට මේ දකින්නට ලැබෙන්නේ. ඔය වත් පිළිවෙල සිද්ධ කරන එක දාන මාන ආදී කටයුතු කරන එක ආමිෂ කුසල. ප්‍රතිපත්ති කුසලයේ කියලා කියන්නේ බුදුහාමුදුරන් වහන්සේ දේශනා කරපු ධර්මයේ අහලා ශ්‍රවණය කරලා යම් කෙනෙක් ධර්ම අවබෝධයක් ලබා ගත්තොත් ඒ අවබෝධය තුලින් එයා හික්මිලා වාසය කරනවා. භාවනා යෝගී වාසය කරනවා. ප්‍රඥාව දිනු කරගන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රතිපත්ති කුසලයේ තුල. එහෙම තැනට තමයි පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ සංසාර ගමන නිම කරලා උතුම් නිවනින් සැනසීම උදා කරගන්න. මහා ජාන්තවල දෙන්න පුළුවන් පණිවිඩය තමයි ලෞකික පැත්තට බර නොවි ලෝකෝත්තර පැත්තට බර වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේවා දැකලා අහලා අවබෝධ කරගෙන ලෝකෝත්තර පැත්තට නැඹුරෙන්න පුළුවන් නම් ඒක තමයි දෙන්න පුළුවන් හොඳම පණිවිඩය.
We took a moment to meditate on the vast numbers of people at the festival and spread compassion towards everyone. After that deep conversation and my mind fully relaxed again, we were on our way back into the streets. I managed to hitch a ride with a family who had come to see Vesak celebrations in their truck. They also asked our Russian producer to sing them a Russian song. Clearly, we bought the house down. Except her, I think she had enough lights for the night. I wish people took the lessons they see today into their daily life and get to experience the bliss of meditation and the true essence of the Buddha's teachings. I wish they realize that although these lights are beautiful, it's nothing compared to the inner light that they carry within their hearts. And I hope everyone discovered that.